Write this down. The formula for wealth and abundance. I told you there is an exact formula. There is an exact formula. Ready? Write this down. The amount of money we receive. The amount of money we receive. Open bracket, your wealth or your income. Your wealth or your income. The amount of money we receive will always, write always in capital letter, will always be in exact proportion. The amount of money we receive will always be in exact proportion to, then write colon, number one. There are three things I'm about to tell you now. The amount of money we receive, your wealth, your income, will always, this is a law, be in exact proportion to number one, the demand or the need for what you do. The amount of money you receive will always be in exact proportion to number one, the demand or the need for what you do. Put in bracket the product or the service you offer. The demand, underline the word demand. The demand for what you do. Number two, your ability, open bracket, your skill, expertise, proficiency, and then you can close it. Your ability to do what you do. Your ability to do what you do. And number three, the difficulty in replacing you. The amount of money, listen, the amount of money we receive, this is a law. Please listen. I'm giving you a key that will set you free forever. The amount of money we receive will always be in exact proportion to number one, the demand for what you do. Number two, your ability to do it. And number three, the difficulty in replacing you. Look at what you just wrote. The demand for what you do, your ability to do what you do, and the extent to which it is difficult to find another replacement to you. This is the grand key, the irrefutable law. When you break prosperity to its unit, the atom of prosperity is this. The amount of money Joshua Selman will ever receive in his life is proportional to the demand for what I do, my ability to do what I do, and the difficulty in replacing me, the difficulty in getting another alternative to me. Let's take it one by one. Number one, the demand for what you do. This is the formula for wealth, brothers and sisters. I searched and I found it. Every millionaire I studied, every billionaire I studied, every wealthy family, every wealthy church, every wealthy business subscribe to this formula. The amount of money where you are sitting right now looking at me, the amount of money that will come into your life will be in exact proportion of the demand for what you do, your ability to do what you do, and the difficulty in replacing you. Write this down. Never try to provide a service where there is no notable demand for it. Never try to provide a service where there is no demand for it. This is what makes a lot of people fail financially. You are answering a question nobody is asking. Hallelujah. Are you getting what I'm saying now? Look at this. Look at this. If this is my business, for instance, the level to which I will succeed in this business is first if there is a demand for this. Is that true? If there is no demand for this, who will pay you for it? Nobody. So many people are starting companies and corporations without asking whether there is a notable demand for what you are trying to provide. The first key to wealth is to realize that you are only paid for something when there is a demand for it. If there are no children in a place, why will you sell Pampers? There is no demand for it. Are you getting what I'm saying? Never try to start a business. When you want to get a job, trust God to get a job in a place, a corporation, a firm where there is a demand for their service. Nitel in Nigeria is almost packed out because technology diminished the demand for their service. Are you seeing that now? When there was a demand, what happened? They were rich. They had money. Are you getting what I'm saying? Typewriters, those who sell typewriters today, if they did not change, will they be rich? Because there is no more demand. Never try to provide any service when there is no demand. This is the reason why ministers have their churches full, because there is a demand for what they are giving. They think they are rich because they are preaching the gospel. Hear me, Koinonia. This crowd, inside and outside, is here tonight because there is a demand. Are you getting what I'm saying? This ministry is excelling not just because God called us. God called us, yes, but we are responding to a demand. For as long as there is a demand for my anointing, I remain relevant. For as long as there is a demand for the dimensions of the realities of the kingdom that I teach, they will continue to be relevant. The amount of money we receive will be in exact proportion, not to what you do, the demand for it. You started a business, you never found out whether there was a demand for it. That's why when wealthy people are about to come to Africa and start businesses, the first thing they do is they send envoys, representatives, to come and give them statistics. They are testing the waters to see if there will be a demand. They will never come to Africa until they find out that there is a demand to the size to which even if they fail, they will still succeed. That's how the wealthy think. Is God speaking to us? Write this down. Continue the points that you wrote at first. You either create a demand first. When you want to provide any kind of service, spiritual, financial, educational, whatever, you must either create a demand for it first, open bracket, through exposure, orientation, and advertisement. You either create a demand for it or satisfy an existing demand. Look up, please. Okay, write it down and look up. You either create a demand for what you want to offer. That means make people want it, or see that they already want it by default and supply it. Let me tell you something. Look up. This is the key behind the wealth of Igbo people. I'm not being biased. An Igbo man will never supply anything he has not ascertained a demand for. That's the reason why when others are running away somewhere, he knows there will be a demand for that thing, and then he will go there. Unconsciously. Unconsciously. Many people do not know this is the law that they are fulfilling. As at when the phones come into Nigeria, It depends on which one you are talking about. Generally, Nitel had one thing like that, what our protocol use now, right? That's how it started. Now, watch this. Did you know that until phones came in terms, I mean, our wireless mobile communication now, until phones came, we had that one that you dial, right? You touch it and then it goes back. You continue and then it goes back. 73142 and then your state code. You remember that, right? Watch this. Some people sat down at the cutting edge of technology and they said, no, we have something to offer. And this is what they said. These people do not know about that possibility. So we use advertisement to create a demand. When they brought out Indomie in Nigeria, what happened? They use advertisement and you are watching. They show a beautiful lady and she picks up the Indomie and she's taking it and you are just salivating. What they are doing is they are creating a demand. Immediately after that, you say, please go and buy me this and that and that. They create a demand for it, or they meet an existing demand. Write this down. Always respond to demands and you will be rich. Respond to demands. I think it was the last School of Ministry students. I was teaching them on finance in School of Ministry. And I told them, if I'm to do business in a crusade ground, I won't sell pure water. If I'm to do business in a crusade ground, I will do mobile toilets. Is there a demand for it? You are joking. You are joking. Sooner or later, no matter how bold you stand, you are in a crusade ground from 3 p.m. in the afternoon for a night vigil. Abba, you will need to ease yourself. And I won't be there. You will even know it's my own. But you just see me smiling. The goodness of God. As they are worshiping, I will lift my hands. Because the amount of money that comes to me is dependent on the demand. So I look for the demand. What are they looking for so desperately that they will be willing to do anything? May God help you that you are not purging on that crusade ground. You would demand my service 1,000 times. And that's good for me. That's exactly the kind of atmosphere I want. As far as my business is concerned. It may look messy, but forget, the money is not dirty. You don't defecate on the money. Right? Are you learning something tonight? When a demand for a value or service becomes overwhelming, I want to give you a secret, a big secret right now. Many of you will not imagine how much you would have paid for if you were in a business class. When a demand for a value or service becomes overwhelming or very high, listen, your wealth index grows faster and you can easily get back to your feet even when your business crashes. Let me explain to you what I mean. There is a way there can be so much demand on your product that even if you mess up, the demand is too high that you become too big to fail. Are you getting what I'm saying? Absolutely. Look at this. How many days did fuel go off in Nigeria? I mean, I know there are still pieces of scarcity, but remember the time when all the marketers went? Within 72 hours, Nigeria lost billions. It literally crippled them because of the huge demand for energy. Is that true? Huge demand for energy. There are certain values that when you provide, it becomes almost, humanly speaking, impossible to fail because the demand is overwhelming. Pure water will never fail in Nigeria till Jesus comes. For as long as there is sun, there will be need for it. We drink water like camels in Nigeria. You finish one bag of, have you seen people take water? Somebody will just take and hold one and squeeze it like an orange. Take another one. Take another one. That's money going. 5 naira or 10 naira if it's cold. Right? And 50 naira just disappeared. right now. Bam, 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 bam. And the person selling it is smiling. And the person consuming it is paying. Every day you must bath. At least, I believe. Yes. You should bath. I'm speaking to the wider audience, not just you. There are thousands of people following. Right? So the demand for soap will never stop. And the demand is so high. Every day somebody's birthday, photographers will never run out. Are you getting me? Restaurants will never pack out. If they pack out, it's a demonic thing. Because you are supposed to eat normally 3 times a day. If you are busy or you don't have money, at least once. If you are fasting, that's all right. Praise God. I'm showing you that so many people are poor because they have not responded to demands. Those who have responded to the demands are the ones who are rich. Because you will pay for anything you cannot do for yourself. It's a law. Whatever you cannot do. Guys keep paying in the restaurant every day because they cannot do it for themselves. Always, write this down please, let's hurry up. Always be absolutely sure that there is sufficient and sustainable demand for the value or service you wish to provide before working on providing it. I repeat, always be absolutely sure that there is sufficient and sustainable demand for the value or service you wish to provide before working on providing it. Never